Okay guys, so in this video we're going to do something called smoothing the Spyderco hole. Okay, and so let's see, how shall we do this? Let's go put this, then this, and this, then this, and this. Okay, so most of you probably know, okay, especially if you're watching this video, that the hole, okay, that comes out of the factory of Spyderco, whether it comes out of Golden, Colorado, or whether it comes out of Taichung, Taiwan, or whether it comes out of Seki City, Japan. Yeah, some of us, okay, I say us because I'm included, we think the hole is a little aggressive. Yeah, a little bit feels like it's gonna tear some skin ish. Yeah, okay, so great. So you might want to know, how can you improve your quality of life regarding that? Yeah, so I'll help you out with that. I actually didn't find a video on this. I'm guessing some people make videos on this, okay, but I just made something up and did it myself, and I am very pleased with the result. I think the vast majority of people would not be able to discernibly detect that I did anything to my Spyderco hole. Okay, not that I'm planning on unloading these knives on anyone else, but I think if anything they look even better than they used to look. I really do. I think they look beautiful. Okay, about why they come the way they come. Okay, I think I'm gonna give Spyderco the benefit of the doubt, and I think that it is deliberate. Okay, so you guys know that sometimes the inner metal of the hole can be very right angled, yeah, in terms of the punch out. And in fact, one side is usually different than the other side. Okay, those of you who know more about the manufacturing, maybe you know why. Okay, but they all come that way. All right, and if I had to guess, Spyderco wants to err on the side of caution, and they would prefer that the hole be a little bit uncomfortable, but more grippy and more safe, than for it to be comfortable, but potentially a little bit slippery, and a little bit dangerous. Okay, I forgot this funny grabber I wanted to tell you guys. Yeah, but instead of canceling this video and reshooting, I'll just throw it in now. Okay, you guys ever heard that song from maybe the 90s where the lady sings like, I can't live if living is without you, I can't live anymore? Yeah, so one time I saw a YouTube video where there was a lady on one of those singing talent shows, and she wasn't a native English speaker, and she, instead of saying I can't live, yeah, if living is without you, it sounded like she was saying Ken Lee. Yeah, Ken Lee, and then like adubu dubu adubu daba dubu something, I don't know, but if you haven't seen it, you should see it. It's a pretty funny video. Okay, but what am I talking about? Okay, can't live. Yeah, okay, the song says I can't live if living is without you. Well, the way Spyderco holes are, I couldn't live with the way the holes were. Okay, can't live if living is with a hole like this. Okay, anyway, so what did I do? All right, okay, so what I did was I took sandpaper. Yeah, in this case, I'll show you guys. Yeah, so in this case I have something called G2P 1500 waterproof black sandpaper. Okay, you should be asking, does it have to be that one? Probably not. You should be asking, then why did you choose that one? Because I didn't want to go to the hardware store, and I just looked through my sandpaper, and this was the finest one I had. Yeah, so it wasn't a very deliberate process, guys. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is, and you don't, this is not rocket science, guys. You don't have to be perfect. I'm gonna snip off a piece of paper that's, I don't know, maybe a 1/2 inch thick. Okay, all right, so I'm gonna go do that. And then the secret weapon, a round pencil. Okay, last time I did it, it was from a different holiday. I don't know, maybe a Valentine's pencil or something. Okay, but this time it's this one. Okay, and then I'm going to wrap this black thing around the pencil. Okay, and I'm gonna make sure there's an overlap, but I don't want a lot of overlap, so I'm just gonna hold right here. Okay, I don't know if you guys can see what I'm doing. I just realized, hopefully you can. And I cut. Okay, and so I end up with this tiny little black piece of sandpaper, and this is gonna be enough. Okay, it is, it's gonna be enough. Okay, so all I do is I just wrap it around the pencil. Okay, and I'm gonna pinch it here, and I'm just gonna like twist my arm extra to get a lot of angle, so that when I come around this way, it's actually, and I'm gonna move the knife at the same time, a full circle. Okay, but these ones, guys, I actually already got to exactly how I like them, the perfect point. So I'm clearly not gonna do it with my 2 more expensive ones. Okay, I think this one I have to keep it as is because there's less room for error since it's a small hole. And this one is, again, bigger and more, so we'll do it on this guy. Okay, this one's already the way I like it. But I'll go soft. Okay, you guys should go soft too. Okay, so what I did, let's see, did I do it? No, I definitely opened it up. Okay, so be careful, don't cut yourself. Okay, but I'm gonna try to start past this line here. Okay, and I'm gonna start by going with my pencil in a clockwise direction. Okay, so I'm just gonna go here, and I'm gonna go 1, and then I'll go here again, 2, and then I'm gonna go here again, 3. Okay, and then I'm gonna go this way, and I'm gonna try to go past there, and I'm gonna go 1, 2, and then I'm gonna go 3. Okay, and I'm just gonna go 3 and 3, flip over my knife. Okay, and I gotta find a starting point. I'll start over here. 1, 2, 3, and then this way. 1, 2, 3. Okay, and my recommendation to you guys would be to not get too carried away. Okay, you want to get it to just the point. I mean, it's up to you. Like, if you want that thing to be like a really smooth rounded hole, then you can. Okay, but how I wanted it was, I mostly just wanted the sharp rough edge off and barely past that point. Okay, so what kind of numbers would I give you? Yeah, so you saw me do 3, 3, 3, 3 for a total of 6 on each side. Okay, if you want to be really careful, I would recommend going 6 at a time. Yeah, boom, 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 boom. Okay, the most that I think you probably should do is 30 clockwise, 30 counterclockwise, 30 clockwise, 30 counterclockwise, which would be 60 circles on each side. Yeah, again, this is just a number I made up. Nah, it's not really I made it up. It's kind of based on what I did, yeah, to get these to the point where I like them. But pause, inspect the hole. Okay, I think it's like my cousin told me. Yeah, so My cousin, we used to always go and do things together, like fishing. And there was this one saying he had where he would tell me like, hey, hard for grow, okay? And what he was saying is that it's hard to grow, okay? And that was a reference to actually pipe, yeah? So he was telling me that if you have a metal pipe and you need to shorten it, it's better to cut it too long and find out that it's too long and then have to cut it again, okay? And then maybe find out it's still too long and then have to cut it again, okay? Then to cut it too short and then to try to see if you can grow pipe. Because it doesn't grow, yeah guys. Okay, hard to grow, okay? I think this is the same way, yeah? You can always remove more, okay, if you determine that it's not what you want, but it's hard to put it back, yeah, once it's gone. Yeah, so just do some to both sides. Don't get carried away. And boy, in my case, guys, huge improvement. I'll kind of tell you to end my experience with each knife, okay? To me, every single one of them needed it, okay? They were painful and somewhat, it took away from the joy and satisfaction, okay? Until I did it, okay? So this knife was not too bad, okay? Of all these knives, this one was the one that needed it the least. And so I don't know if the guy who I bought it from that had it before me did anything. I don't think so, but I didn't have to do much. And this one, it only bugged me a little bit. They all bugged me, but this one only bugged me a little bit, right? Okay, this guy, okay, was probably the second least, okay? I did work on it, okay? Let's see if I ruined it, okay? Or if I still like it. I still like it, okay? Here we go. Yeah, but here's an example, yeah, guys, okay? Because there's still some grip and it's not too smooth, this one has tension, but I can still feel like it's not gonna slip. I can still grab, okay? What an irony. Anyway, but I do think that if I took off too much from this one, then it could get to a point where I'd lose some grip. Fortunately, they're all at the point where they still have grip. These three were the worst, okay, in terms of hurting my fingers. This was the worst. This was the second worst. This was the third worst. I won't talk about this one, okay? Just it was in the middle. These ones were bad, man. Like I'm telling you, especially this one. Oh, this guy, man, okay? Such a good knife. It would flick so good, but it was overkill, okay? It was sharp, okay? But yeah, I got it to a point where I love it. I don't even think about it anymore, okay? And if you're like me and you're in that situation, then hopefully this will help you. And that's it, yeah? One tiny little paper of fine, what's this called? Sandpaper, yeah? And a round pencil, okay? All right, good luck.